Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala barakatuh. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin, wassalatu wassalamu ala syarafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Alhamdulillah, we are going through our growth model. Remember, in our coaching methodology, we are using the growth model, GROWTH. I've covered G, goal setting; R, reality check; O, option and obstacle; W, will and way forward; T is tactics. So today I'm going to give you the first one on Life Coach Tactics 1. So we are going to go back to how we can understand using tactical skills in life coaching. That means you as a life coach, you are actually practically immersed with your coachee or your client who needs help. So you must have within your capacity the tools and the tactics. So we are talking about tactics and tools. These are the same thing. You have the tools 1 or tactic 1. So this can be tools, tactics, tools. Alright. So the T stands for tactic and tools. And later on I'll go into habits. Habits, okay? So there are many tactics and tools because this never-ending process of becoming a life coach, it is experiential and it is wonderful, it's beautiful. Every day you can learn something new, apply some techniques, some tactics, some tools and so on, and you learn and you grow with it. Alright, so it's not that just today I teach you and tomorrow you become a life coach. It's not that easy, but through your experiential situational conditions, you develop the capacity to give better and better advice and coaching to your coachee or client. Alright, so there are hundreds of tools. So naturally I cannot give you all the tools, but I want you to go back to this fundamental model of what I call TEF or FET and TEF model. Remember, I have given you the FET-TEF cycle in many videos in the past, but this can be a very powerful model and tool for tactics and tools. That means the very basis of positive Islamic psychology tools would be based on this FET and TEF cycle. So I've explained to you what do you mean by FET and TEF cycle. At the horizontal level, this is the physical plane. Alright, thoughts, emotion, feelings. So you know, thoughts, emotion, feelings. At the spiritual plane, it is feeling, emotion, thought. So as at the level of the SEM, alright, your S, this is your akal or your mind. Alright, then you have your heart, emotion, and then your spirit. So SEM, it is moving in this direction. M going to E, going to. So your SEM is the vertical aspect of your existence. Your physical aspect, this is your jasad or your physical P. So we have our model, as I told you, total success SEMP. That means spiritual, emotional, mental and physical. I'm giving you this is physical, physical plane. Your physical plane or your physical existence, we are bordering on thoughts, emotions, feelings that will cause action, and action will give us result. At this, relying only on your physical capability, which is fantastic. Allah has given us this body, this transient life on this earth. Alright, we are a contingent being, a transient being. That means we are time bounded, transient, contingent. That means we are created. Alright, so we are always endowed with our physicality. So you cannot say, oh, this is not important. You just forget about this, just talk about your spirituality. A lot of the new age guru, okay, forget about this. You can't forget it because this is your reality. Alright, oh, you can go straight to God, you know, without, I forget about your reality in this dunya. Alright, if you want to be a hermit sitting in a cave, not involving anybody, well, that's your option. There are people who do that. Alhamdulillah, that's good. They're good, wonderful human beings who understand the mystery of the spirituality. There are Muslims who are also doing it through their very deep, muraqabah, seclusion, khalwah and so on. Yeah, you can do that. But I'm talking about ordinary Muslims, the 1.7 billion Muslims who are practicing the normal life, alright, of living in this dunya. So as you live in this dunya, You have the circumstances and your situation. Your circumstances and situation at the physical plane will affect you. So this is the physical, the horizontal plane. This is the spiritual plane. The spiritual plane, that means consisting of the SEM. But always your akal is the next level. So I'll explain to you this, just a summary. As I say, you go back to our SEM P, and also go to the FET and TEF cycle video. There's about 10 videos there, because this, if inshallah among some of you who are psychologists who wants to understand a tool, one tactics and tool that you can permanently apply as your research base, is to use this. Okay, it sounds very theoretical, but it's very, very practical, and I'm going to just demonstrate to you over maybe a few videos how you can apply the FET and TF cycle. Remember, at the horizontal plane you have your thoughts, emotion, feelings. At the spiritual plane you have your feelings first. Your feelings come about firasat, ilham, and other spiritual input from the realm which Allah has given to you. Then affects your feelings, will affects your spiritual emotion, your heart, your qalb, and will affects your akal, which affect your thought. So they are linked together. This is only jasad. Alright, this is where the psychology of the West today is just about your brain, your brain, your brain. That means you're not talking about the horizontal, it's only talking about the horizontal plane of human existence on the physical plane, but not the transcendent existence of human being as a being that have in its innate nature a spiritual being. So we are a spiritual, emotional, mental being far above our just physical plane, because the physical plane is just contingent, transient, temporary, time binded. We live and then we die, but your spirituality will live on forever and forever. So as you integrate the two together, you have the physical plane and the horizontal plane and the vertical plane. You become an integrated self where you have positive inner speech. So in our model we teach you about inner speech. Alright, you can see this in our inner speech. So that model, you must master this model, our PIP model, that gives you the whole idea of how to integrate the inner speech. But this is one tool that I want you to understand, and in fact you can write a book on this, because there's a lot of empirical evidence in terms of higher feelings from the realm of what they call it now, they call it the mind state, mind side. There are a lot of research. Alright, the feelings and emotion at a higher level, your intuition, for example. You suddenly think of a person, suddenly 1 minute later he calls you. Where does it come from? Alright, then manifestation of, for example, instantaneous healing. You have cancer and then you feel the feeling coming in, and then your cancer is gone. Where does it come from? That means your physical body can be override by the circumstances and the situation at the spiritual, emotional and mental level. This is far more powerful, and if you can harness this capacity, then you become the integrated self and having positive inner speech, and then you will have total success in this world and the hereafter, inshallah, living in Iman, Islam and Ihsan. So the first tool that you must understand is that we, at the physical plane, we are always bounded by our situation and circumstances. So I'm giving you this first understanding. Our situation and our circumstances will affect our what? Our thoughts. Our thoughts will trigger what? Our emotions. Our emotions will trigger our feelings, and our feelings will then trigger our action, and our action will then result in the result of whatever the circumstances that we have. So we have STEFAR. If you want to have an acronym, you can have STEFAR. Alright, so your ST, your total S T E F A R. This is the acronym. ST, STEFAR. Your STEFAR, your situation or circumstances will affect your thoughts. Your thoughts will affect your emotion will affect your feelings will then result in your action, whether positive or negative. Positive or negative, and it will result in the result whether positive result or negative. Okay, all right. So then these circumstances is also as you live in this dunya, it is controlled by your loci of control. If you study psychology, all right, you know that we have loci of control, which is a lot of the psychology teachers will teach you that your loci of control can be external. That means you are bounded. Your situation is not internal, it is external. That means you are controlled by the external situation and you are just a victim of circumstances. A lot of people, for example, their local control is they want approval from other people, or they want something from other people, but they have no internal loci of control. So you must have an internal loci of control, so then you become a successful human being. All right, so your loci of control, if it is external, then will affect your evaluation of your situation, whether positive or negative, whether good or bad, and then it will affect your thoughts will affect your emotion affects your feelings affects your actions, then actions result in the stafar, whether positive or negative in this world at the physical level. But you have a mechanism that will transcend all these things, and that is the positive Islamic psychology. Beautiful. If you study this, inshallah, then you can come up with a set of tools that is different from CBT, for example, or other method. All right, we have positive Islamic cognitive behavior therapy. This is one of the tools that I want more research to be done. How we can harness our internal strength at the spiritual, emotional, and mental level, together harnessing your physical capability, understanding that circumstances have loci of control at your level, or whether external or internal, and then how this affect our life in this world. So this is just an overview. I'll give you practical examples of how to utilize this tool in terms of the tactics, inshallah, knowing that if we can harness our totality as a human being, our spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical self, and understanding where feelings, emotion, and thoughts come at a higher level, and where thoughts, emotion, and feelings come from at the physical level, and how we can harness all these tools and change the circumstances, then we can change ourselves to become an integrated self, positive, with positive inner speech, having total success in this world and the hereafter, inshallah. Knowing all this, we are the servant of Allah, His vicegerent, His Khalifa on this earth, always striving to make ourselves good, helping others to be good, and making this world good for all humanity, all living creatures, all the goodly creatures that Allah has ordained upon us, to give the fullness and receive the fullness of joy, happiness in this world and the hereafter, inshallah.